All right, I'm here. Sorry about last week. I cut short, but I got the time to answer the questions. Make sure y'all hit the thumbs up and let's get it. It's time to get these questions in today. Let's talk about bankruptcy. Let's talk bankruptcy. Let's let's talk medical debt. Let's let's talk collection accounts. Let's talk 99 C's and 82s. All right, I'm here. I'm gonna be on here for a minute until everybody start logging in. All right. So, I'm on here. Today is live. I'm just, waiting for people to come in. But no, last week was definitely a really busy week for me. And then I did a live and then ended up cutting that live short. Sorry, I apologize for that. Kind of planned to eat dinner with my wife. So for some of y'all to know, like I live in a on the outskirts of Houston, but I still work in Dallas. So, man, during the week is really kind of tough. So, during the evenings, I try to take calls, answer questions. First thing in the morning, I try to reply to emails. And then in the evening, I try to take calls, kind of work on credit stuff. And then on the weekends, I try to knock out most of the videos, knock out any client stuff that I need to work on, try to do some videos, try to do some lives, try to do all that stuff, and also do my research because I'm always researching right now. I'm in the US code book and I'm trying to really go through that book and kind of learn a lot what goes in there and what things that I could use that I think would help in this process of helping people remove their credit. Yeah, you just if you didn't get a notification, yeah, if you didn't get a notification, you may have to hit that bell for notification. Uh, but But yeah, usually that's kind of what my schedule is during the week. I start getting a lot of emails. So if I don't reply like that, I try to get to people as fast as I can. But if I don't, uh, I will respond to every email. So uh, again, I'm an open book. You can ask me any questions you want to ask me. I'll give you my opinion on what I think it is. I'll take the fluff out of stuff that you may be hearing out here on YouTube that is misleading. I don't want to say inaccurate. I just say misleading because you got to have the right information to be able to know what you need to do, all the way to if you got to take them to court, right? uh, the dispute process is so vital, especially if you know you have some stuff on your credit report that's not right, to go to the next level. So I have a situation right now. So my wife, when we just bought this house, our last house in California had a pool. She wanted a pool, but our backyard is not big enough for the size in the in-ground pool. So we were looking to get an above ground pool, like a 24 by 24 above ground pool. And then we would just kind of build around it and make it a nice little deck, seating area, all that stuff. So when she called, they ran an inquiry, like a hard inquiry on me and her, right? But my wife no credit. She knows how I do things. So she specifically asked him, are you doing a hard pull or soft pull? The representative tells her, no, I'm not sure if it's a hard or not, but using, we'll only want to know if that's your residence. So we're not doing a hard pull, right? So next thing you know, I get a hard pull on my credit report. So I've called them numerous times to tell them, hey, my wife is not me. She can't give you authorization to look at my full credit report. You dug into my full credit report. You pulled a full credit report. I've called them about 3 or 4 times, right? Told them, hey, you need to remove this inquiry. I'm not the one. I know my laws. Well, I said my wife can't give you authorization to pull my credit. And then how did you pull my credit with just my name and my date of birth? That's all she gave me. She didn't even give him my social security number. She gave him my name and date of birth. How the hell can they pull your whole credit report with that information? Right? So I've already talked to them. If they don't call me next week, I'm going right down to the courthouse and I'm gonna go ahead and file a claim. I'm gonna go ahead and do a court case against them against permissible purpose. And when it all get done, I'm gonna be YouTubing it, put it so people can understand these processes and not allowing these people to do what the hell they want to do because they think we're not gonna do what we're gonna do. But if they want to give me some free money, because I'm gonna sue them for violating the Fair Credit Report. I don't care if it's $1,000. I'm gonna go in there and represent myself. I don't care if it's $1,000. They're gonna have to pay me something, right? And then I'm gonna spread the word out that they're violating people's credit report. They're violating people's credit, digging into your credit report, doing stuff they ain't had to be, and then they dare you to do something. All right, so Max says, so I sent out my first round on deleting addresses in February. I didn't get a response, so I wanted to wait until I got your message. You can see. So did you dispute it? Wow. Oh wow, that's crazy that they have. Yeah, like they didn't even have my social security number. They just have my date of birth and name and pulled a hard pull, right? But check this out, Max. On it. So on your did you dispute it with LexisNexis? Did you try to dispute the address with LexisNexis, or did you just try to do it with the credit bureaus? That would be my question. Did you try to remove it with LexisNexis first, or did you try to remove it with the credit bureaus first? The first person you should delete your address with. Uh, said I don't know. I didn't. I did it with credit bureau. So Anytime with addresses, the credit bureaus, just think of this process. Where can they physically know what your addresses are? They don't know, right? They don't have any credit card applications, any of that. The addresses are reported to them, right? They don't have that information. They don't have your credit card information, none of that. So they have to verify that somewhere else. So I tell everybody you should pull your consumer report with you should pull your consumer report with LexisNexis. That's going to give you a lot of information, and the information they have on you. I think a lot of times what we fail to understand is these bureaus are collecting data on us. So every time we apply for something, every time we move, every time we call, so every time we give out our information, emails, all that, telephone numbers. That's another thing. You look at, you need to disputing old telephone numbers. That's not my telephone number. That's not my telephone number. Dispute old telephone numbers. Dispute old telephone numbers. Look, you need to pull a full credit report from. I'm gonna tell you, listen, even me, I do identity IQ, but I also have Experian, Equifax, TransUnion. So for all of y'all that want to work on your credit, pull. That's okay having an idea because you want to match it all up, but you need to pull the credit reports from the original creditor database. Don't rely on Credit Karma because Credit Karma fool you. Don't rely on third parties. Remember, they're pulling information from them, so you have to make sure that their system pulled all that information correctly, right? Pull all that information in correctly. If you're working on your own credit, you need to go to the original bureaus, pull those reports, and then you start matching it together. Now, for me, when I'm working on clients, I don't want my clients paying for credit reports from three different credit bureaus. My job is to make it as inexpensive and help you build your credit, not to be tagging you with all, making you do this, and just costing you more money, right? I'll work around that. But if you're working on your own credit, you should pull the original credit report from Experian, the original credit report from TransUnion, the original credit report from Equifax. And you need to look at them at each account and see what they're doing, right? You have a better understanding. Take a sheet and start writing down what's different on each one. So even me, when I'm disputing, I'm not when I'm evaluating a client, I look at each one of those topics and see what is reporting different. And I say TransUnion, I put them off. I say TransUnion, Experience, Equifax, date open. Put the dates open on there. Circle this one's different. Date of last activity, which can always be different because credit bureaus have different reporting cycles. If you look into the dispute process, they all have different report cycles, right? Date of last payment. Oh, well, he said date of last payment is 10/1, 10/9, 10/6. They all are wrong. Your date of last payment is going to be one day. It can't be multiple dates. And then that's how I start going down and looking at the strength of dispute. And Lou said, hello, Ms. Connor. Hope all is well. All is great. We can dispute LexNet using the U.S. Title 15. Yes. And really, to be honest with you, LexisNexis is not, listen, I had my bankruptcy disputed came off. I had addresses disputed come off. They ain't most times more people get that stuff deleted because they're not processing your disputes through a system. So they can't verify. How does anybody verify your address unless you got a house? They can't. What are they gonna call different creditors and say verify if this is your address? No, that's why you have to get it off there first. Once you get it off there, the credit bureaus who gonna go to the third parties to verify is not gonna see it there, and they're gonna take it off. I've had my addresses deleted like that. But the other reason why you want to pull your credit report from the original bureaus is because you're going to get much more information in that original uh, from the original creditor. Excuse me, from the original credit bureaus. You're going to get more information, right? And get those violations, them $1,000 fines. A lot of these people are putting money in our pockets, but we so busy on our daily lives, we just don't have time. I'm telling you, I got a creditor. I got a creditor right now that they ran a inquiry and specifically asked him, "Are you doing hard inquiries?" My wife asked because he was looking at getting a pool. I didn't even apply. I didn't even know she was applying for it. She told me after the fact, right? And then I'm looking at my crowd. So how do I got an inquiry? I'm trying to get rid of inquiries. I'm not trying to add inquiries. And if we knew it was a hard, we'd have been like, no, no, thank you. Is there any other way to prove that this is our house and we live here, like a deed, which makes more sense, right? But you running my credit, and I didn't even know if I even want the pool. But that's okay. I got a trick for him. We one of these videos coming up because I'm gonna take them to court. I'm not even gonna remove it off my credit report. I've called them about 4 or 5 times. They still haven't removed it. So you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go right down there so I can prove to y'all how easy and it just takes time, but how they giving us money. Let's go ahead and fix the problem because a lot of these creditors don't believe that we're going to take it to the next level. I'm going to take it to the next level, right? Education. Go right up in there and fight this, right? When they can bring the recording, and it don't make a difference what the recording say, because I'm going to say, did you talk to me or did you talk to my wife? Because I'm looking at my credit report and you pulled my credit report. So I don't care what my wife told you. You should have been like, yes, that's fine. We can run yours, but we have to talk to your husband before we can run his. No, you didn't do that. So I got a trick for them. Can't wait. They got till next Friday. That next Monday I'm off. I'm going down to the courthouse and I'm filing a court case against him. So make that real simple. I'm start looking up the processes and doing what I got to do. I'm gonna wake them up because I'm assuming. Uh, but yes, get the first thing, Max. Listen. Request your consumer report, man. Learn what these people have on you and what they holding on you. Right. Get that done. That should be the first thing you do. I think anybody, when they start this dispute process, should know what kind of information Stagestream and LexisNexis and any other one, CoreLogics, LCI, uh, American Resolution Solution, all of them, you should need to find out what kind of information they have. Check system, telecheck, find out what kind of information they holding on you, right? That is the point. There's weaknesses in the bureaus, right? You got to know what their weaknesses are. And if they don't want to follow through, you got to know how to go ahead and take it to the next level. Dispute it off, take them to court. Hey, if everybody on here, just hit the thumbs up. Do me a favor. I'm on here, so all I'm asking you is to hit the thumbs up and say, "Hey, appreciate you for coming on." So I'm a big believer in. I'm a big believer in. I'm not a big freeze person. I'm one of the few people I believe in going after them and making them improve it or remove it off my credit report. Now, LCI, you can't freeze it. Uh, but I believe if you feel that there's something wrong on your credit report, uh, dispute it off. Because sometimes when you freeze stuff, Some creditors, because they don't have access to it, will deny you based on not having that access. So that's why I'm like, and then you got to remember that you froze it. If they gave you a code, what the code, hope you didn't lose the code. It's just a lot. To me, I'm just going to go after and say, you need to prove to me that this is accurate. You're reporting this, you need to prove to me this is accurate. And then try to get that information off of that report so you can move forward. I'm not big on freezing. I mean, some people freeze, but I just feel like if you freeze it, at some point you gotta unfreeze it, and the information is still there. So I'm big on that. David, he said, "Hey, what's good? This channel, I mean, it's all about asking the questions and getting the answers, the real answers, the truthful answers. That's what this channel is all about. Uh, but that's what it is. Come on now. I know we got some hard questions. 1099C. You know what? Man, I need to plug this thing up and I'll start it without. So hold on right quick. I'll be back. I smell crawfish. I smell crawfish. Did you take a sausage? No. Are you lying? It was good too. Sorry about that. I had to go get this, and I still didn't grab everything I needed. Lord have mercy. All right, I'll be right back. I'm sorry. Woo, man. It was a workout. I'm back. Sorry about that, not being prepared. Let me plug this thing up because I don't want to lose. Bam! We in. All right, sorry about that. But this live TV, we make mistakes. So, but anyway, yeah, I started it off. So, Alana Lloyd says, good afternoon, all. I have a question. If you had sued the credit report agents for deletion, what would be your steps? All right, so let's see. All I have a question. If you've had to sue the credit report agent for deletions, what would be your step? So be more specific when you say for deletion. Is it something you was wanting to get deleted off, or something they deleted that you wouldn't get off? Can you be a little bit more specific? And then David E asked that 1099C insurance and the disputing process is education at its best. Yes. So let me 1099Cs, right? You're going to get a lot of people out here, and again, there's a lot of good. I get it. It was but let me get to this 1099C and then I'm gonna come back to this question. Uh so you're gonna have a lot of people out here, with a lot of, coming with a lot of stuff with consumer law. There's a lot of laws that overlap laws, right? But at the end of the day, to get for a law to be actually for something that's written as law, we have to prove it in a court of law, right? So you're gonna hear people say stuff like, I want to call no names. You got one person saying that late payments are illegal. I may have seen the video. And consumer, and then they'll read a section of the consumer law, right? But when you just think about some of this stuff, and then they say, well, that those late payments are legal. That's a transaction. Okay. Then if that's the truth, then all my good payments are illegal too. So I'm gonna lose all my good payments, which is gonna lower my score. So if I'm gonna force them to take a late payment off because it's illegal, then they're gonna take all the payments off, because every transaction, good or bad, is a transaction. So you got to think about when these people are kind of preaching stuff and telling y'all certain things, but only telling you half the story, but they're not addressing, well, if the late payments are illegal, are the good payments illegal? But see, they don't answer that question. They don't even address that question. So you got to be understanding of all of that stuff, right? So when you're doing a 1099-C, there's certain, so for me, when I'm disputing 1099-Cs, I look at court cases that have said that it is illegal for them to report a 1099-C, right? And then receive the tax credit and still report the 1099-C. So, okay, so I addressed that with them. So I'm going to send the creditors a letter, right? Along with disputing it, I'm going to send the creditors a letter and say, hey, and this applies to people that have settled the debt, right? Because if you have an unsettled charge off, it's going to be much more harder to get that off. And because the creditors still have the ability to go after you for the debt, right? It's going to be harder for you to get that charge off deleted. But if you settle the debt, there's no more collection activities. Now, when you address, okay, Capital One, we settled this charge off. There's no more, you're not going to be attempting to collect anything. This account is settled. These I have 3 court cases. These 3 court cases have said and was ruled on that it is unfair for you to report this charge off. They don't need to report it. There's no more leveraging tools to that. So that's those are the kind of approaches you need to use. Like, that's what I'm looking at. Well, I look at a lot of time, if I went to court, I don't want to look like a fool and going there and telling them, well, that's a transaction, such and such, and the judge be looking at you like you done lost your mind. Get on up out of here, right? I want to know that if somebody walked into a courtroom, they won that case. I know they won cases on Fair Credit Reporting Act law violations. I know that. I can look them up, right? But this topic of 1099-C, it's a lot of misleading stuff out there. But you can get it off. I had a charge off. I had a car, and I know I've said this, a Dodge Charger. I owed $19,000. It was with Credit One Auto. I turned around. I've settled that account, and then that account ended up coming off my credit report. So let me get back. Let me catch up on some of these. Okay. Oriana said, Oriana, Lord, it is already deleted. But if it's deleted, I'm trying to understand, why would you want to sue the credit reporting agency if you got an account deleted? Was it a negative account? Was it a positive account? I said, but how do you find out they received a tax credit? Because how are you going to know if they received the tax credit is because you can call the IRS and ask, are there any 1099-Cs issued against you? So if you call, say you had a debt with Bank of America, you never received the 1099-C. If they got well, you're asking this, so let me back up. If they filed a 1099, they got a tax credit. The 1099-Cs is a profits and loss. They lost, so they got a tax credit. If anytime you're in business, if you wrote off something, you're going to get a credit for it. They got a credit for that loss, right? And if they filed that 1099-C, they received the credit. That's why they sent that same, they issued it to them to get the credit. And then that 1099-C should have been sent to you for you to add it as income on your taxes. I mean, yeah, on your taxes. That's how you know, because they issued you one. If they didn't issue you one and they wrote that debt off, that's an issue. That could be possible, and I'm not going to say that could be possible tax fraud, because they, first of all, it's accounting. Every business has to account for every dollar spent, where it went to on a P&L, losses, all that. They have to account. They can't hide those financials. So at some point they had to file that loss. If you had a car and they charged off $20,000, they reported that $20,000 to the IRS somewhere. They did not get away with it. Now, there was some parts of how long a creditor has. What I read is a creditor, there's an old rule that a creditor has 36 months to file that loss. So if you have a charge, I'll say it's 4 years old, I promise you, at one point, they slid that loss off in some of their taxes and didn't issue a 1099-C. I would be challenging that creditor. I know good and well you wrote that is 4 years old. You didn't write it off. So how did you sell it to somebody else? Because no collection agency is going to pay full amount for a charge off. Think about it. No collection, if you wrote off a debt for 15, that collection company is not buying that debt for $15,000. So where's the money go? How did they not file it on their taxes? That's when you challenge a creditor to say, hold up, you had to file this on your taxes. Why I didn't receive it? Now you start pressing the button, you probably could get that charge off if you owe the money on that charge off, because they didn't commit it tax fraud, in my opinion, because you have to, any business, like I'm an operational manager, I've dealt with P&Ls. If you look at a true P&L, they are line by lines on every single thing, down to a cell phone bill that company is paying, that tells them out what they total profits are for that company each month. You get a P&L report. I get a P&L report every month. And every month, and it has variance. Am I plus from, to say, for example, it's going to have 2021, 2022. It's going to have say for me, I was in transportation. So if they had fuel, how much I spent in 2021 versus 2022. If I spent more in 2022, my variance is negative. If I spent less, my variance is positive. All that affects what their profits and loss is. So they have to report it. So if you call the IRS with no 1099s issued on you, right? And then you turn around and say, well, this charge off is 5 years old. It's still reporting. They never issued me a 1099. How did they write this off on their taxes? Right? The IRS ain't gonna know. Now that's when you challenge the creditor. You had to write this off. This is accounting. This is a part of your accounting on what the worth is of your company. So how did you not write this off on a 1099-C? How did you not do that? Right? So those were the questions I'll be asking, right? Let's see. Okay. Okay. David E say, how if the statute of limitations pass and creditors still send a dunning letter, what do you do? So, well, first of all, they can't. A creditor should be telling you that if it's past the statute of limitation, listen, your debt never goes away, right? A debt never goes away. Can nobody tell you it never goes away? But There, like you said, there are statute of limitations on how much time they have to go after you for that debt. That's it. Once it passed that, they're called zombie debts. They're zombie. They can't collect anything from you, but they have 7 years to report it on your credit report, right? And that's how they know that. In the state of Texas, is 4 years. So if they don't sue you in 4 years, they got an extra 3 years to report it as a leveraging tool to get you to come to some type of settlement or pay it. But like I tell people, listen, if my whole thing is, if it's a collection agency, I'm not paying nothing unless it comes off my credit report, right? I do restrictive endorsement letters because I'm gonna write a contract. We ain't even gonna play. I'm not gonna take your word for it. I'm gonna write a contract between me and you, and my terms and conditions are removing it off my credit report. If it's a charge off, listen, an unpaid charge off, don't let nobody tell you this because I can prove it to you over and over. An unpaid charge off, typically when it reports, it has the charge off, a past due balance, and it's reporting delinquent. It is going to damage your score. If you settled it and you settled that account, it is no longer delinquent. You no longer have a past due payment, and you no longer have a balance, right? You no longer have a balance. Your credit score will go up. I've proven it over and over again. But you also want to try to work to get that off 1099-C. And then if you have, listen, people say, well, that comes income. If you had a bad year, you can go and get you a 982 and say you insolvent. If you insolvent and you can prove through all your bills and your debt that you insolvent, you don't even have to pay that. Look it up. 982 insolvency. If you insolvent, you don't even have to pay that on that 1099-C. It doesn't even add anything to your taxes, right? Okay, Max say, I have a collection agency that keeps calling me. They don't answer my phone. They keep calling. I heard that they aren't supposed to make any calls, and I'm not. Well, they can call you up to a certain time, right? But I would tell them is I don't take phone calls. I need everything in letter. Send me a letter. That's where I'm at. Send me a letter. Most people make the mistake is ignoring collection accounts. The next thing you know, if it's a legitimate collection company, if they call you, you would be able to talk to somebody. You have a lot what they call these zombie debt collection companies that will send you an automated call. You try to call, they try to refer you to another number, and then they try to tell you, man, you can hang them phone calls up, right? And then they pass a new law that they can text you now. But long as you tell them, do not text me, then they can't text you, right? That's not a form of communication you like. Then if they do, and they continue, right, then that's when you can file under the Fair Debt Collection Practice Act. But I would tell anybody, if you got a collection account, figure out what's going on with the collection account. If it's a collection account you know you owe, and you can, and it ain't reporting on your credit report, man, try to handle that. Try to get a simple settlement so you can not have a report and move on. Letting that stuff hit your credit report just becomes harder. Now you got to try to dispute it all. Now, then if they don't want to take it off, you're gonna have to take them to court. It's the only other way. What's up, Skillet? That's the only other way. So don't ignore collections, man. The system is set up, right? That's why I'm kind of glad about the new medical debt rules, where all medical debts that are paid in July will come off your credit report. So if you got some small medical debts, man, get them jokers paid and move off your get them, and they're gonna be coming off your credit report. There's a lot of people with a lot of medical debt that their scores are gonna go up just because behind those medical debts. And next year, in the beginning of next year, anything under $500 or under will no longer report on your credit report. That's going to help out a lot of people. But if you got these medical debts and you've been trying to dispute them all, you trying to do that, take care of them. But I'm going to give y'all a ticket on medical debts. This is what y'all need to be doing. You got a medical debt, right? You have to understand, especially if you have medical insurance. We're going to say you have medical, because you didn't have no medical insurance, then you know the bill was coming to you. But say you have medical insurance and you still receive the bill, right? So what you should do is you should call the medical provider and say, I had insurance. Where is my EOB? Because they sent that to them. Where is the EOB, which is the explanation of benefits, right? Because I should not have received a bill for this. They may ask you to submit a HIPAA release form. You want your what you were seeing that day, how much you were charged, and then ask them, did you submit this? Because a lot of medical facilities are not even submitting claims in time, which is causing insurance companies to deny the claim, right? And then the medical providers are not going to call and tell you, oh, we made a mistake. We didn't file your claim in time. No, they're going to send your bill to a collection agency to try to get the money that they messed up. So no, you should be asking them. And if you have insurance, call your insurance provider. Why I need the explanation of benefits for this, right? For this medical bill that wasn't paid, wasn't submitted on time. Did they submit the proper medical billing codes? There's a lot of things that you need to be following up on, because if they didn't submit the proper billing code, that's not your fault. That's your fault. Why am I paying a bill for something that you didn't do that you're negligent on? So with medical bills, man, you got to follow all that. Get with your insurance company. Get with the medical facility. Find out that they, through the insurance, that they filed a claim in time, that they filed the right medical billing code. I need an EOB, explanation of benefits. All that will explain everything for these medical debts. My FICO, oldest derogatory event, late payments. Do you dispute them like you would 2-year payment history? Yes. So check this out. I like to go after the 2-year payment history, right? I definitely like to go and say, and a lot of times what I'll do is I'll send it in and I'll circle, like, these credit bureaus are reporting this. How do you know you're reporting it's okay? Say TransUnion is reporting it okay, but Experian is reporting it 30 days late. And then maybe Equifax is reporting it okay. Maybe they're reporting it 30 days late. I'm gonna say I was not late. How did Experian reported it okay? So the original creditor told Experian that I paid it on time. So how am I late on these? Right? And I line that stuff out to them. And when you dispute, don't give them no long, drawn out. Just be precise and to the point. I am disputing the late payment in July 2022 or 2020. I'm disputing that late payment. Experian disputed that I was okay and on time. Equifax disputed that I was okay or on time. I wouldn't put that they also said you was 30 days late, right? And I say, how can you say that I was late when 2 other credit bureaus say I was on time? I would just feed them, right? And then, or if you're not going to do that, if you got 2 of them saying late, you're going to have to dispute just that one and the one that the credit bureau is saying you're not. If 2 credit bureaus saying you're 30 days late, don't put the third one in there. Just do the one that says you're okay and the one that says you're late, right? And dispute that. What else? Max says they just get their addresses and send them a letter stating not to call. Yep, that's all you got to do. Send them a letter. But some of these places, they're not even legitimate. You just got to be careful with these people. Nowadays, you just gotta be careful with anybody calling you about it. Matter of fact, I was talking to a client and I had like 5 calls, somebody talking about Amazon, somebody's trying to buy an iPhone. All these people just trying to scam you left and right. So you can't trust nobody. Even with these collection companies, I tell and say, man, I don't know, you could be a scammer. So I need you to send me the documents you have. Do not call me. I need to take letters, information. What's so important, there is language that is required in a debt collection letter. Like this stuff is in my master dispute package. So if you get a letter, you say, okay, this is not in there. What's it supposed to be in there? This is not in there. What's it supposed to be? And you'll be able to say, man, you're violating of the Fair Debt Collection Practice Act. There was specific language that was required in this letter, and it's not in this letter. There are people that take people to court. Matter of fact, I seen a court case, and this is true, and I'm gonna pull it up and give it to y'all. There's a court case where the glass entry on the letter, they could see the debt, because that's why when you get debt collection letters, they're in blank envelopes, right? They could see somebody sued the debt collector because they could see it through the glassing of the letter and sued them and won. It's just it's ways to beat these guys, but they work on percentages, right? Most collection companies, all of them, I ain't gonna say most of them work on percentage. A lot of them know they don't have a legal right to that debt, but they also know the percentage of people that is gonna take us to court is very low. So they're gonna put it on your credit report and they're gonna challenge you. I've had clients that have taken collection agencies to court and have won, right? But we scared of court for some reason. We don't want to go, and I ain't scared. I'm gonna take these people running my inquiry. I'm gonna take them to court. I'm about to show them something. I'm gonna be the talk. They're gonna change their process after me. So I keep y'all updated on that. But okay, so it says my 2-year is 100, but my older derogatory events has a 90-day late without. Yeah, you should be disputing that. That's straight up inaccurate, right? But I would also check this out, Skilly. You need to send that to the original creditor to say, hey, under section 623 S2-B, you're supposed to be reporting accurate information. How could I be 30 days late, but no 60 or 9? I mean, how could I be 90 days with no 30 or 60 day late? That's inaccurate. You need to fix that or delete that account or update my credit report to paid on time. Agreed. So I would dispute it with the credit bureaus first and say, and you don't need a long drawn out letter. I am disputing the 90-day late payment on this month of this year. How could I have a 90-day with no 30 or 60-day late payment? Please update this to accurate. Boom, send that. Don't put a whole bunch of other added and all that other stuff in there. Date, their address, your address, the date. You can put a low section in under section 611. You have to do a proper investigation. Under section 623 2-B, the furnisher needs to report accurate information. After that, you go straight to the dispute. The account number, dispute number 1, I am disputing the 90-day late payment, right? Without no 30 or 60-day late payment. Or I'm disputing the 90-day late payment. I was not late. How could I have a 90-day late payment without any 30 or 60-day late payment? And then when the credit bureau say this is accurate, you take that accurate response and you take that credit report and say, how could I be 90? You send that same letter. I disputed this with the credit bureaus and you said it was verified. There's no way I could be 90 days without these, right? And and then say, it is your responsibility under that section 623 to S2B to report accurate information, and you're not reporting accurate information, right? So, those are the things, those are the tactics that you can do, right? So, what else we got? Any other questions? Hey, remember dispute processes. This is the dispute process. You're gonna mail something in. I did a video on a good dispute letter versus a bad. Don't be, even in your method of verification, don't ask them who they talk to. They don't talk to nobody. The credit bureaus is not picking up the phone and calling the creditor to ask. That's not the dispute process. They're gonna your letter comes in. They identify with some kind of code. They look at they use the Metro 2 language to through Oscar to send to the original creditor. The original creditor goes in, looks at the dispute, and a lot of times your disputes, let's go through the project. I'm gonna come back on why some of it don't work. Then it goes through the original creditor. Original creditor does what they're supposed to do, and then they send that information back on the AUD, and then it goes back through Oscar to the creditor. The creditor makes the change. Sometimes people have a hard time understanding that when they're doing a dispute, they're disputing 4 or 5 things at one time, 10 different 10 different accounts, and then they got a whole bunch of extra stuff in there going through a whole paragraph on why this information ain't right. That's too much information. uh, the credit bureaus probably have 3 minutes, maybe 2 to 4 minutes to look at your dispute. So when you put all that extra stuff in there, they probably don't even know what you're disputing. Give it a dispute code. There's nothing has to do with what you're talking about, and that's it. And you can also send additional documents in. Send additional documents, right? Uh, David said dispute process Metro 2 computer scans letter 2-digit code through Oscar. It is another and back to a verified. Yep. It could be a 3-digit code. They got some 3-digit codes in there too. But remember, Metro 2 is only the language. That's not really the code, the 2-digit Metro 2. If you look in the consumer excuse me, if you get in the Metro 2 guide, right, which is the consumer guide, you would be able to. Shit, I even forgot the name of the manual. Look at this manual right quick. I'm sorry, I'm talking crazy and not even looking at the manual. So the credit resource guide. So if you look at the credit resource guide, there are languages in that credit resource guide that they send. And it's a bunch of different numbers and letters and all that. If you get the credit resource guide, that's what you need to have. Like when you're disputing, that credit resource guide is powerful. It really helps you on what should be reporting, what not should be reporting, and all of that. That Metro 2, remember now, it is just a language. Don't let none of these people on YouTube tell you you can sue somebody under Metro 2. Metro 2 is not a law. It is just a language that is used to help creditors be more accurate in the reporting of information. So all Metro 2 is. If you want to sue somebody, you got to sue them under the Fair Credit Reporting Act or the Fair Debt Collection Practice Act. It has to be under there. Metro 2 is just a guide. It's just kind of a industry standard that was supposed to be helping original creditors report more accurate information. That's all Metro 2 is, right? But just understand how the process works. Most people make a lot of errors on disputes because, for one, they're putting too much in. They're not getting directly to the point real fast. So when they look at it, they can say they're disputing a late payment on this month. And they're also saying that Equifax is reporting okay and Experian is reporting okay. Right? That took less than a minute. But like I said, check out that video I did. Good dispute letters versus bad, man. I'm telling you, it's I had a client and I was looking at that letter and I was like, they're asking questions and putting a period behind it. Like, oh my God. Cartier says, so can you put Metro 2 with consumer law? I mean, remember, again, Metro 2 is just a language, right? Yeah, you can use, how do you use Metro 2? Is you use Metro 2 with the creditor to just say, hey, y'all put this standard into place. You're saying that it should be reporting like this, but you're not reporting it based on what y'all agreed to how you're going to do it. And then you flip it and say, because you can only sue under the Fair Credit Reporting Act, right? So when you go, you say under the Fair Credit Reporting Act, you're not reporting accurate information. So now, because you're not following Metro 2, I'm looking at my credit report and I have different information from all the bureaus. Now, you're a violation of Section 20, the 1681 S2-B. It all depends with consumer law. A lot of people on this consumer law things, but I haven't. Listen, I'm gonna tell everybody get on that. Tell them to give you a court case where they're telling you this and then telling you. Now, some things in consumer law are on point, but ask him, do you have a court case that can prove what you're telling me is right? Because I like to deal with court cases. Because I'm going to bring you a court case that says, yes, this worked. But I don't like people to tell me something, but then they can't back it up with proof. They can just say, well, this is what such and such said. But what do we do if they not going to do it? I did a video. I said, I'm not changing nothing. I'm not doing it. I'm the creditor. I'm not doing it. I'm not changing nothing on your credit report. What is your next choice? You can say, well, consumer law, the book says you got to do this. I don't care what consumer law say. I'm not doing it. What are you going to do as a consumer? What is your choice as a consumer? You're going to have to take them to court. This is how America works. So if you go to court, is there any information or any present cases that will say they ruled in your favor? If you don't have that, and there's never been a case like that, it makes you think like, am I gonna be the first one to walk up in there? And then I'm gonna be like, so you got to think about all that. You have to think about everything, right? It says they didn't have to prove it in the form of a case, law citations. They can prove it anyway if there's proof. That don't work like that in court. It doesn't work that anyway. The courts and a judge has to rule on the case. Period. You have to rule on the case. So if you got proof of something, what is proof? He still has to rule. And I'm telling you, because simply, for example, a 1099-C. There are some courts that say it was okay for the creditor to report the 1099-C. And then there are some cases that the judge say is not okay. It is not okay to report a 1099-C. So there's no definitive court case that has said, the Supreme Court has not said you cannot do this. It hasn't reached that point. You can talk to any consumer lawyer. You can go through all this. You can talk to people that read the book, but they ain't lawyers. And they ain't in no courts. And I ain't seen they haven't came to me with no court case they fought in court. I'm all about realist, the real thing. Yes, court cases, court law comes into play. I don't care what nobody tell y'all. It comes into play because any lawyer say they're going to refer to cases that tell the judge that they should rule in this way. They do it all the time. I mean, hopefully, some of y'all need listen. Y'all, some of y'all need to start going in the courts. Start really understanding court and how court proceeding. You can still be right if you don't present your case right. You could be found wrong. It's the truth. It's all how you present your case. And some part of what you're saying is true, but you still, if you don't have a court case to refer to, because if I went to court for a 1099-C, I can rile 3 court cases that judges have said that it was inequitable, because that's the word they use, to file to get a tax credit and report a 1099-C. I have references. But if when you start talking about certain things, especially when you're dealing with some parts of consumer law, I'm not talking about the whole book because I don't want nobody to take and run with it. I'm saying the whole book. I'm not saying that. I'm saying some parts of it. When people are trying to preach this to you, they can't just preach a portion of it and then leave the rest of it out. That book, I mean, look how thick this book is. Now they take a sentence out of this little bitty book because I got the book and I've been reading it, and then they take that one little piece and they preach it to it. And how do you know there's not another section that deeper is defined what that one is? So we have to make sure, man, we're paying attention and do your research. Even me, I'll tell you, do your research. I'll tell you something, do your research. If I'm wrong, come back and tell me I'm wrong. But I love research, man. I love getting down and researching. So y'all don't have to believe me. Go do your research. You find a court case that has proved that what they're telling you is right, then you good. You can come. But if you're not, man, you believe in, and these people are just feeding y'all and feeding y'all. And then half the time they ain't even telling you how to, they just giving you the information, and ain't one of them gave you proof from start to finish that what they did and how they got it removed. Y'all just listening. But take that information, go learn. Go get the book. Go get the book and start doing your own research, and then start looking at court cases. In lower level courts, you have to make a record of the possible appeal because the judge may be biased. Exactly. You want that. That's 100% true. You're right. He may be biased. And you got to go on the court cases because lower courts may rule differently. So you better try to pick the judge that may rule in your favor, especially if there's nothing that has said this is the law and this is how you have to rule on this particular subject. Right. So you're 100% right on that. A lot of judges are biased, right? And you better come in there with a strong case and understand court proceedings, especially if you got a lawyer sitting across from you, because you may slip on something that allows some information to be entered that would be damaging to you for you to lose. That's what man, going to court like playing chess. You better be thinking 3 steps ahead. You better be 3 steps ahead. You should know what he may possibly try to bring him to the court, so you already got a counter for it, right? And I don't know why this turned into a little lawyer thing, but I ain't even a lawyer. But I'm gonna tell you, if I'm going in there, I got my ducks in row, right? So, you know, just understand. I'm not telling y'all not to believe in consumer. I'm just saying, man, listen to everything they tell you. Ask the questions. Like I listen to some of these guys, especially about that late payment stuff, and I'm like, well, I don't hear him talking about the good payments. If the bad payments ain't no illegal, then the good payments, if they all transactions. So what do we do about our good payments, right? So I'm just telling y'all, really listen and do your research, right? That's how I've been successful, even with doing credit repair. Like I do my research. I try to look like people have bought my master dispute package. They'll say, they come back and say, man, You got a lot of information on there. And I've been slacking on my book. I need to get back on there. But man, I'm commuting. Remember, like I live in Houston and work in Dallas. It's a 4-hour drive, man. So I'm still, because I want to open up a franchise. I'm still trying to figure out what we want to do, man. I don't want to take another job in this area, quit, and then open up my own business. So there's a lot of things like I'm going through trying to work through. Uh, and I want to open up my own business because I really would like to dig even deeper and into this credit repair and go to some court cases. Like I really like to dig deep and be a little different. Go to court cases where people are fighting against collection agencies, start taking notes, coming back to y'all with notes on that type of stuff to give y'all better information and run a business. Like I want to do both. I'm at a point, man, in my life where I don't want to, man, I don't want to work for nobody no more. Because the real money is owning your business. That's why every one of y'all should be investing. And need to start doing videos on investing. Y'all need to be investing, looking to open up a business, right? And try to figure out, because real money, I don't care if you make 6 figures, there ain't no real money. There ain't no real money. I'm telling you from experience, ain't no real money. Yeah, you can live comfortable, ain't no real money. Real money, man, is if you got 500,000, $600 million. That's when you start having real money. But making 80,000, 100,000, 150, man, ain't no real 200,000. Ain't no real money. Real money, and you're not gonna get that most times working on a job, right? Unless that's just what you want to do. And not saying that you can have a great retirement just working that job, but man, I'm trying to get to the real next level, right? But invest your money, invest in crypto. Be careful with crypto. There's a lot of people out there still in crypto. I got a nephew in cybersecurity. He warned me about it all the time. People getting their stuff stolen all the time. But invest in crypto, invest in the stock market. Right now, there are some great entry points for companies that are great companies to get in. Invest in the stock market. If you got a 401, invest in your 401. Look at opening up a business. I don't care what it is. Look at opening up a business. Look at other streamlines of income, right? Don't be so just start. It's so much money to be made out here. It's ridiculous. Millionaires being made every day. But it's work. I'm telling you, it's work. So get your credit right. Don't wait. Don't listen. I'm the realest person on here on YouTube about credit. Listen, I'm not, if I can't get someone, I don't want to take them to court and I can just get it paid. I'm trying to move my credit report forward. Most people are going to spend more time trying to get out of paying. And you know what? Their credit report is going to suffer. You're going to make your credit report suffer for 7 years for that stuff to fall out. You're going to be 7 years behind. Now you're trying to build your credit when you could have been building, getting that stuff fixed, building your credit. 7 years, when it do fall off, probably ain't even going to affect your score. But when you apply, they won't be able to see that negative entry. But quit waiting to go after and get your stuff fixed. If you got to settle something to get it fixed and get it done. So you can start moving your credit. Creditors want to see, we've all made mistakes. They want to see, how are you handling those mistakes that you made? Wow, are you going to take care of them? Are you going to not take care of them? You know, we want to get stuff we can get off. I'm not telling you not to do that. But if you've been struggling to get something off, man, try to find a way to get it settled, get it off. But don't let it ride on your credit report for no 7, 8, 9, 10, what, 5, 6, 7 years before you take action or wait for it to fall off. Try to deal with it. Try to come to some kind of resolution to deal with it. You make it come to a resolution and get it off. Sometimes I've had instances where settled and then I disputed and it came off. The creditor's like, shit, let it go. I ain't gonna, he's good. So, but creditors ain't gonna want to get off those accounts if you owe money on. But anyway, what I got any other questions? Any questions? Any questions? Hey, any of y'all, if y'all interested, I do have a master dispute package. Listen, if you want to talk to me, even if you listen, even when you buy those packages, I'm readily available. Yeah, I don't sell none and then disappear. That's not my style. I'm gonna talk to you. I'm gonna work out with you. I'm gonna look at you. if you have a question, you email me. I'm gonna pick up the phone. Hell, I talked to two people today. They're not even clients, and we talked about their credit. We talked about one person bought a master dispute package. Hey, I think Max bought a master dispute package on here, and I told him, if you got any questions, come talk to me. You can pick up. He got my phone number. He can pick up the phone. He can call me, ask me any questions. If he needs some help with something, I'm here to help him. Right? I'm truly here to help y'all. You know what I mean? So it says, have you ever had something taken off, come back on? Listen, for one, I've had clients that they have to notify you within 5 days. You need to dispute and say, I was not notified. This was removed on this month, or this whenever it was moved this month and was put back on it, and I was not notified. I have to be notified within 5 days before any entry being placed back on my credit. And most likely you're gonna get that taken right back off. Again, no drawn out story. Dispute that item was removed off your credit report and you was not notified within 5 days of resubmission. And then you should be able to get that off. Back off. Because they didn't, and it's in the, if you need the section in the, well, Max, you got the Fair Credit Reporting Act. It's right in your manuals. It'll tell you that they have, I think it's 5 days to put it back on. So it's best to get negative accounts deleted or removed. Yes, the first thing is to get it deleted. If it's a collection account, you should be able to get that deleted, no problem. If it's a negative account and there's a bunch of inaccuracies, try to get the creditor, and it's paid, try to get the creditor to delete the whole account. Line out all the inaccuracies between all three. I have a letter that I sent for a client. He had 11 different inaccuracies reported on his credit report, but the three credit bureaus. I sent the letter I disputed it with the credit bureau, and then I didn't dispute all 11. I just did 2 disputes on there. And then I sent the creditor a letter lining out and showing them the 11 different entries that are inaccurate on that credit report. And I sent that to the original creditor along with the credit report. And I circled them. This was why. This is one date. This is another date. This is another date. This says my high balance is this. This one says my high balance is this. This one says my high balance is this. This one says my credit limit is 0. This one said my credit limit is 300. This one said my credit limit is 500. So I lined out every single one of those, every single one. And I sent them a letter saying, this is all inaccurate information. So if you want, say that account is paid, can you please delete this account for the amount of inaccuracies that reporting that is damaging my credit report. And under 1681 S2-B, it is your responsibility to be furnishing accurate information. And it can't be accurate when TransUnion, Equifax, Experian are all reporting different information. That's how you hit them. Most people want to, now you can't sue the creditor by disputing directly. You have to dispute with the credit bureaus. That's why I send the letter to the credit bureau. So if a client wants to dispute the credit bureau, sue the creditor and the credit bureau, they followed the process to do that. But I'm gonna send them a letter also say, I notified you of these, and that I actually sent you copies of my credit report to show you. So when you come to sue them, I can already prove, hey, I sent them a letter, certified mail. I lined out, this is the letter I sent them on all the inaccuracies. Here go my credit report, all the inaccuracies, right? So, definitely try to get all of them removed. But I'm just saying, if you got a charge off and you owe money on, remember, it's still with the original creditor. They got all your documents. They got everything you bought with that card, when you opened it, every payment you made, all of that. They got all of that. So it's gonna be much more difficult to get them to remove that. They got all the information. I know you ain't gonna take an original creditor to court, right? Because they're gonna come in there with everything. You're gonna look crazy sitting up in there trying to prove that that ain't your account. They're gonna have everything. He opened up the account this date. His first purchase was done on this day. Here go all his payments. This is when his account went in delinquency. This is when he stopped making payments. Da, da, da. So think about that. You're not gonna sue the original creditor. It don't make sense. They got all the information. So, what y'all got for me? What y'all got for me? I'm ready for some hard questions. Hey, and again, if you're interested in that my master dispute package, shoot me an email. It's got a lot of information in there. A lot of information. Again, I know I keep saying this. I am looking. I got to get back. I'm think this weekend I got a little extra time to be working on that book. But everybody that bought the package is gonna get the book for free. I'm not gonna be trying to charge anything else for it. That's just not my style. I'm just gonna send y'all the book. I know everybody that bought it because it's in my PayPal account, every email. And all I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go by the email. Everybody, now everybody's requesting the book, I'm gonna send it to them. Now, I mean, I probably sold that package to people 10 months ago. If they're not asking for it, I'm not gonna send it to them. But if they say, hey Larry, I bought it, this was my email, no problem. Here you go. There you go. So a lot of information. I think I'm up to 161 pages of information in that book. It's a lot of hyperlinks where that says one thing. You can click the hyperlink. It's going to take you to an internet page. It's going to share more information with you. So it's a very detailed book. It ain't no little. It's not going to be little. It's going to be digital too. So it'll go directly to you. So. What y'all got from me? I pray. Listen, I appreciate every single one of y'all coming on here. You know, my job, man. It ain't even about the views. It's just about just giving people good information. My life changed, man, since I started. From 2000 in 4 years, my life has totally changed financially. I've always had a good job. My wife is a nurse. I've always, but my whole thing is my credit and my bank account didn't represent what my money was like because I was spending a little bit more money making bad decisions, not having my credit right, not investing, not doing the right choices with money because we made money. And a lot of times, what some people make, they get comfortable because they made money, not understanding what your potential for how much you make. Listen, it's all about your mindset. If you think you're $1 million person, you gotta strive to be $1 million person. As long as you're doing everything you can do to reach it, you may not hit it, but you're gonna get close to it. Okay, Ty says if your credit age is 1 year and 11 months, if you get a OI for 20 years, will that increase your age? Oh, definitely. It'll probably, if you got a authorized user for 20 years, it's probably gonna move you up about 4 years. If you get two of those, you're probably gonna be up to about 6 years. So yes, it's definitely gonna help, and your score is definitely gonna go up, without a doubt. Now, if you get one, make sure they ain't got no high balance on it. Like they got a high credit limit, a low balance, and that's how, man. Listen, building credit is how you do it. Like if, like me and my wife, just like I have a Navy Federal credit card, and it's like 15,000. It is 15,000. I just added my wife as an authorized user because I don't owe but maybe $400 on that card. So now I'm going to increase, and I've been having it for a while. So now I'm gonna decrease her utilization. Actually, I put two cards on there. I gave a Discover card that I hardly don't owe anything on. I added about 20. I added $20,000 on her credit, and out of that 20,000, I only owe $700 between the two cards, right? So now she's gonna get her utilization is gonna plummet, and she's going to add time to her credit card. I mean, her length of credit, which is going to drive her score up. So you got to know how to manipulate the credit system too. Manipulate the credit system, get some authorized users, ask people, hey, friends, family, hey, you have a credit card? I don't want the card. I just want you. I know you pay your bills on time. Do you have a card that you have a big limit that you don't have to send me? I don't want a card. I just want to piggyback off your good credit history. I'm trying to build my credit. This will really help me. Just give me like 6 months. I'm gonna be trying to build once it hit. Once I start getting my credit to what I do, then you can take me off as an authorized user, right? So use those AUs. Yes, I'm saying this. Look at your when you look at your credit report, look at your score, right? Look at it. This is a charge off. I'm charged off on this account. I promise if you look at your credit report, it's gonna have a balance which is throwing up your DTI, right? Debt to income ratio, because that's a closed account that you owe money on. So you're not reaping any benefits, and it's throwing up your DTI. Then if you look down, it's gonna say past due, and it's gonna have that same amount, right? So now you can go and test. You can try it. You can try and dispute some of the inact. They're gonna come back because they're gonna be saying that balance is correct. Because you're not gonna take them to court, Cartier. You're not gonna take them to court because if you walk into court, they're gonna have all the information. So what are your choices? You're not gonna dispute that account off your credit report. I haven't, be honest with you, I've not seen charge off that somebody disputed, they come off their account, right? Unless they took them to court, sued them for inaccuracies, and got it off. But if it's only $1,000 with, so if you owe 5,000, even if you got $1,000, you still gonna owe them 4,000, right? So to me, because I'm trying to move my credit, so I'm gonna settle with you. I'm gonna request a 1099-C. Can I get a 1099-C? Some creditors will give you a 1099-C. Once you get there, you settled, you get that 1099-C, and I try to dispute it all. Again, there are court cases that you can use that say, hey, with a 1099-C, I've settled this account. You're not coming after me for anything. It's unequitable for you to be reporting this. Can you please remove this charge off? I had a charge off with Capital One. They removed it. It was a car, right? So not attached to it. So what is the best method of deleting hard inquiry? The best way, not attached. Call the credit bureaus. Hold on. Let me give you the numbers. I got all the numbers right here. Call each credit bureau. Call call each credit bureau, and then ask to speak to the fraud department. I've done it. Uh, and tell them these inquiries are inaccurate. They're not yours. You never apply for this credit. So let me get these Experian. If I can hit my fat finger to Experian. Experian. No, that ain't the number. I'm gonna give you the number I called when I called Experian. Be patient with me right now. This that is right there. So Experian, you want to dial 855 414 6048. When you call them, they're going to ask to speak to the fraud department. Everybody you talk to, can I help you? I need an unauthorized inquiry removed. Is this the fraud department? Hold on. Give the next person. Hey, can I help you? I have I looked at my credit report and I have a number of inquiries that I did not apply for this credit. They were unauthorized inquiries. Is this the fraud department? Yes, this is the fraud department, right? And they're going to ask you, what are the inquiries? You need to know the month, the name, the month, and year of the inquiry, and you're going to give them that list. They're going to take 72 to 48 hours, 48 to 72. I'm all backwards. Uh, and then you'll know if they remove these. Uh, Equifax. I think TransUnion is the hardest, or maybe Equifax. TransUnion. So, call them, ask to speak to the fraud department. Okay, I have six. Okay, hold up. Crime says if I have six charges, should I just file with the FTC or request a 1099-C? So let me ask you this. The charge-offs are still with the original creditors. So what people are not telling you, entered into an agreement. So you can file it with the FTC, but I would most likely, yeah, if I was you, most likely I would try to get them to send me a 1099-C. You have a better chance of getting it removed with a 1099-C. But I would tell you would have a really good chance if you settled and got a 1099-C. Some of these creditors right now, man, I had a talk to one of my clients, got a settlement. He owed 3,000. I think he got a settlement for like $900. I know that may seem like a lot, but it's a lot cheaper, and he's gonna get a 1099. No, matter of fact, it was cheaper than that. Matter of fact, he had he got a settlement for like $300. Now that I think about it, so I'm telling you, call the creditors. Hey, listen, I'm going through some hard times. You may not even be going through none. I'm going through some hard times. I'm really trying to fix my credit. What is the best settlement offer you can get me? And can I receive a 1099-C? Right? Because, and then just tell them you have to report this debt to the IRS. You cannot not report the debt to the IRS. So it is a part of your accounting. So you're gonna have to put it on your taxes. So can I get a 1099-C? I'm say copy. I appreciate you. That's not a lie, but I do consult with you to get the processing. Yeah, just shoot me an email, right? And there's multiple ways, right? Even when listen, we're requesting. Look at your credit report. You got to look at every little thing that can help you. Just say you got that charge off, you got that 1099-C, and then you look at your credit report, and then there's a bunch of, they got different dates of last payment, different credit limit amounts. Then you start using that information on top of court cases, on top you reporting stuff in there to get that stuff deleted off your credit report. Build a case for the creditor. Say, man, they may be saying the credit bureau's got this stuff. We're not gonna get sued behind the credit bureau's not doing their job. Everybody know the credit bureaus that the CFPB just did a report earlier this year on the credit bureau. Matter of fact, just last week, TransUnion is getting sued again. TransUnion is getting sued. They had got sued, and then they turned around and then continue to do the same thing they said they were gonna fix and get sued again. Look it up just by last year. So do we mail them or call them? I would call them. So are you talking about caller? I would call them. Hey, Bank of America, I'm calling about a debt. Yeah, so they're gonna ask you. We need to verify you. Listen, I know this is a charge off on my account. I'm really trying to clean up this stuff. It's really been tough. So what is the best offer you can give me to settle this account? And can I receive a 1099-C? Like, can I get? I know you're trying to get this taken care of, so you can move on and get this off your books. I'm trying to clean my credit up, get this off my book. What is the best thing you can give me to settle this debt? Right? You probably be surprised what they're going to give you to settle the debt for. Right? And then request a 1099-C. Just tell them, hey, you have to report any losses on your corporate taxes. So I'm going to have to receive a 1099-C. So can I get a 1099-C if we settle this debt? Call them. Don't shoot them no E. I would call them. Get your answers as fast as you can because you're dealing with the original creditor. Right? I was a collection agency. Yeah, I wouldn't be calling them jokers. I do everything by mail. Okay, if you have an old address, what that keeps popping up on Experian, what? Now, who do I dispute? Listen, all addresses you dispute with LexisNexis, Stagestream. You need to get your consumer report. Most people make the biggest mistakes because you don't even know where they're getting the information from. Go and find out what other information third-party creditors are holding on you. Learn what's going on and how they're monitoring you. Y'all don't. A lot of people don't even understand that these jokers are monitoring us. Every punch of the keystroke, they're monitoring us. I'm just keeping it real with y'all. Figure out what these people, what kind of information they got. They may have bad information on you reporting that is helping the credit bureaus maintain information, saying stuff is valid. Get your consumer report from LexisNexis. Call Stagestream. Hey, I need my report that holds y'all. Because LexisNexis bought Stagestream, so they together. Go to CoreLogics. Hey, I need to request. How do I request my information that y'all holding on me? So yes, that's absolutely true. Like, go get that information. Like, it's like we scared to find out what people have. We don't want to look at it. Go get that information. I promise you, it's gonna help you. It's gonna help you, right? There's flaws in this system. We got to know how to. We got to use it to our advantage. There are flaws in this system. The more information we know, who got what, is better we can challenge that to be able to affect and help us improve our credit. Build your credit. Start looking at stuff you can put. There are so many fintech companies out there. Build your credit, right? You can open up a business and not sell a thing and start. You can set up a business account, not and start building business credit, right? And start building business credit. You know, so I mean, I have a business MasterCard. I have a Platinum American Express business card. I got fuel cards. Listen, I can go get fuel. I ain't got to worry about it reporting on my credit report. My Platinum American Express, I use that buy groceries because of points, everything. You know what? It's not going to show up on my credit report. I got. I mean, I'm just telling you, open up a business. Tell them you're gonna open up a business because you're selling candles. Open up a business. Says, okay, Cartier say if the charge off is 4 years old, can I still request? Yeah, and what I would do is Cartier call IRS because in reality, from what the IRS says, they have the old system said they have 3 years to report that loss. I will call the creditor. Did you further? I will call IRS and ask them, do I have any 1099-Cs against me? You may have moved. Maybe they did send it. Maybe they didn't send it. Right? See if you have any 1099-Cs against you. Call the IRS. Don't be scared of the IRS. I mean, call first thing on a Monday morning Friday morning and say, I'm trying to figure out, do I have any 1099-Cs against me? They may say, yes, you have a 1099-C against that same creditor that you're talking about. Can you send that to me? Right? Now you can start going with the creditor. You got a 1099-C. Your leveraging power now is like, hey, I got a 1099-C, but I know y'all still trying to collect some of the, can I settle this debt for 200, whatever, right? If you got that 1099 and they charged off the whole account, right? Call the creditor. Are you still trying to collect on this debt? No, we're not trying to collect anything on this debt. No problem. When they say they recording a conversation, you record that same conversation, right? And then you turn around, you go in, like I said, like I have a letter that says, listen, uh, uh, with all the court cases that say that the courts have deemed that reporting is 1099, and you send it to the creditors to say, I want this removed from my credit report. You issued a 1099-C. These court cases says it's inequitable for you took a tax credit and now you still trying to report this. It's unfair. So yeah, you can. That's what I would do. Yeah, request, and I would also call the IRS, see if they submit one to you. That's what I would do. I think a lot of mistakes in a lot of people is they're scared to reach out and talk to certain things because they just don't know what's going to happen and none of that. Man, you got to take your finances under control. Don't be scared about nothing, because credit, real talk, credit is a means to keep you in poverty. That's what it's all about. If you don't get that right, they're going to use that against you. Jobs are going to use it against you. Creditors are going to use it against you, which cause you to go to all these subprime people to pay higher interest rates, which takes more money out of your pocket, which reduces the amount of money you can invest back in yourself. So take care of that. Understand the importance of it. It should be your number one priority. Listen, I look at my credit every day. Boop. Yep, nothing changed. Nothing. Oh, my score went up. Oh, this reported this account. Hey, I have a creditor haven't reported this account in 3 months. I need to find out why. Hey, I just looked at my credit report. You haven't submitted or reported to the credit bureau my account in 3 months. Why is that? Right? So I view my stuff all the time. I view it all the time because I know it can hold you back. I'm telling you, my life changed. Right? My wife changed. My wife, when we first got married, had a 4. She had 2 scores in the high 400s and one in the very low 500s. She's a 700 credit person right now. Right? She can go out and do what she want to do. Brand new cars, credit cards. She went from zero. She probably has about $60,000 in credit. I have about 90,000. Probably about $90,000 in personal credit. We ain't even talking about business credit. So it's the access to money. If you don't have the access to money, then you're limited on your wealth and how to grow your wealth. That's why the rich stay rich. They have the access to money. So anything else? Any other questions for me? We've been on there about an hour and 40 minutes. Right. But hey, if y'all got any personal questions or anything, you want me to review your credit report, man, I'll do that for free. No issues. I will look at your credit report, give you a credit analysis, tell you the things you need to do, and no problem. I have a credit card from a credit union. Credit union for a product change in 2020. They closed the card and gave me a new card. Same credit union. The card is not reporting. And just call them. Ask them why they're not report. Ask them, do they report? Further, I'm gonna ask you, do they report? Because now I know if they report it now, and then if it's not, just say, hey, you're not reporting this, right? So I don't know why they're not reporting that card. Maybe they'll think they're reporting it, but not reporting it. Yeah, Cartier, yeah, I'll look at your credit for free. Now, when I say free, I'm totally free. I will look if you got your credit report, if you have like don't send me no credit karma. If you got Identity IQ or Experian or My FICO or one of them and you need me to look at it, I will look at your credit report for free. No problem. And give you some guidance on what you should do. Right. And without a problem. I want to help everybody. Now I do, the only thing I do, I sell credit repair packages. I do pick up clients every now and then, and I limit myself. Uh, uh, so let's set something up Monday. Shoot me an email and then we'll set something up. My email is uh, shoot me an email. And probably Monday would be the best day. Tomorrow's Easter. I ain't trying to do nothing on Monday. I'm off all day. Typically Monday, I try to come in here, get a video together, shoot a video. I'm gonna be working on my topics, and then I probably try to shoot 2 videos, and then I take calls. I'll be up in the office, and then I can look at your credit report. We can have a conversation. So Monday is probably the best day. All right, Desmond, I got you. Got you. Yeah, we'll just shoot me an email. We'll set something up. And I've sat on the phone for a whole hour talking to people about their credit, and it's no big deal, man. So my goal is to help you and give you real information. So uh, and then guide you in the right direction. That's my goal. That's I'm blessed, and there's other things that I'm looking to do in my life that's going to bring way more financial wealth, and then just keeping it real, than doing YouTube videos or selling or doing credit repair or selling master dispute packages. That stuff is fine. It pays for a little bit of the time I take. Well, I take a lot of time, but pays for a little bit of that time. But at the whole time, for honestly, it's just giving back, man. I realize in my life the things that how my life has changed. We bought a house in Listen, we bought a house in California, had a pool added, had a backyard all done up. We lived in that house for 18 months. We made $300,000 on that house when we sold. That's the little things like that changes your life, because your credit was well enough to buy a home. You stayed in that home for 18 months. You made a large sum of money, right? Right? Been able to move. We moved back to Texas, bought another beautiful home, right? And there's other things that we could do. Paid off debt, took care of stuff. Man, so many other things you could do. You go look in your bank account. You got money in your bank account. The wife, if she want to go buy something, she can go and buy something she want, right? It changes your life. So I'm trying to preach this to people. There's going to be a lot of people want to teach you gimmicks and scams. I'm not going to teach you all that. I'm going to teach you these are the true facts about it, right? So understand it. Move your stuff and move forward. Start building your credit. Start investing. Start looking. Listen, there is. Check this out. I'm about to blow your mind, and this is what blew my mind about investing. You can go on, right, and y'all think I'm lying. If y'all want to follow me through this, y'all can follow me through this. It's called compound interest calculator. Y'all think I'm lying. This blew my mind. Y'all can follow me on this, right? I was renting a place for $27.50 in California before we bought our house. So I wanted to know if I invested that money in three, and we leased that house for 3 years. So if you go to compound interest calculator, it's like .gov, right? And then it's going to take you. If you type in 2750 was my initial investment. Monthly, I contribute because I was paying rent $27.50 a month for 3 years. Now, at an interest rate of just 7%, and I'm just going to say compounded annually. Well, actually, let's do this compounded monthly. Hit calculate. In 3 years, if I invested that at 7% interest, I would have ended up with $113,198 in 3 years. In 3 years. So when I'm telling you the power of growing your money and investing your money, that's at a 7% interest. I have some stocks that I'm investing. I have one stock, I bought it at $3.84. That stock, when I looked at it Friday, was $9.11. So I'm telling you, if you not paying, this is mindset. This is my mindset. The most important person is me. So every one of y'all, if y'all not paying yourself first when y'all get paid, I don't care if it's $20. If the first payment is not to you, you doing yourself a disservice. If you're not opening up a brokerage account, opening up some type of and taking money and investing back into yourself, you'll never change your financial situation. Get your credit right and start taking that money and find ways to invest back into your future. If you're a young person, I got your email there. I got it, Desmond. I got it. If you're not changing your mindset of money and your wealth, man, you're going to be, when you get 40, 50, you getting older, you tired of working, you don't want to work, you're going to be looking at that account say, man, I'm going to be struggling. I'm going to still have to work a job. Just like if you go and you see older folks down there being in Walmart, and they may want to work. And I'm not saying they all ain't got, but what about those people? They working because they have to work. So I'm telling you, if your mindset is not set that when my wife get paid, I invest. When I get paid, I invest. Matter of fact, y'all think I'm lying. When COVID first started, this is when I started investing. I said, you know what? I've been putting it on. I got to start investing. I went from $100 to $26,000 in 10 months. Just investing. I'm telling you, in 10 months, I went from 100 to 26,000. I was like, what the hell? Man, if I would have been doing this 10 years ago, my whole life would have been bad. Yeah, because I'm going to tell y'all, when I retired from the military, but y'all go, I had 33 negative items on my credit report. 33. My credit report was jacked up. I cleaned it up, bought a house in Ohio, then end up that house because the housing market crashed, got foreclosed on, went back to school, working on my education, end up filing for bankruptcy. And then, man, but even when I came out of bankruptcy, man, I started working on my credit report because I already knew, man, I can't function like this. We settle for bad credit and we find reasons. People, instead of fixing our credit and spending money on fixing our credit, and I'm not saying get with a credit repair company. I'm saying some of this stuff you can do on your own. That's why I sell the master dispute package, because you can do this on your own. You do not need a and I'm a credit repair company. You do not need us. But some people don't have the time. They don't understand the legal. They get frustrated. I get it. But man, you have to take your financial situation under control. You gotta I gotta get this under control. I gotta fix this stuff so I can take this money, because every bad credit is causing you to go get bad loans, If you move into a new place, you want some furniture, you can't get 0 interest for 36 months. So they're going to charge you 18% interest, right? So now you're going to pay more money for the furniture. You're going to go get a car. You can't get approved for low interest. So you're going to go get a car with 12, 14, 18% interest. They tagging you there. Then you going in, you got to move somewhere because your credit ain't good. They want a big old deposit. They tagging you there. So every place you turn, they're going to tag you for having that credit, bad credit. And that's money you could have been investing back into yourself, growing your own wealth. But that's why you can't, don't let people have you serenaded or, man, get out of it. That's why I'll tell a person, man, if you got to settle to get that bad stuff off you so you can start moving. Because as long as it's on there, creditors are not going to give you credit because they're going to say, you got 3 charge-offs, you owe all these charge-offs. Why am I going to give you a card, right? And you ain't even paid these 4 charge-offs that are riding on your credit report, right? They not going to do that. Then you're going to go get these subprime cards. And subprime cards, they know a subprime cards, it represents bad credit. So when you go out and get those cards, even though you're building your credit, they're temporary cards. You only keep them to build your credit, and then you go ahead and you can keep 1 or 2 because you had it, but get rid of some of those and get good cards. Discover, Bank of America, Citibank, American Express. You want to get big banks on your credit report, because those subprime cards are exactly what they are, subprime. And then they're only going to, just think about this, they only going to give you a $500 limit. So if you got a $500 limit, right? If you got a $500 limit, 30% of $500, right? I would say, let's see, what is it, $65? Okay, 30. $500. Yeah, so what is it, like 60 something dollars? Now you already over 30, you're already over 30% of utilization, which is gonna tank your score, right? So you get those cards and you gotta pay them off on every statement date, because if you pay them off on the due date, that credit. So if you get 1 tank of gas now, you're gonna be over your 30%. No, I'm not telling you to close them. I'm telling you is you use them to help build, and then get rid of some. You keep some of them. Like if you have one that you open your first time and you've been having that card for 5 years, you don't want to close it because now you're gonna lose the 5 years, right? You want to keep it open, but I'm saying, like, don't. Some people go out and be getting like 6, 7 credit cards or subprime. You don't need that many. You just need enough to start building your credit. Get you about 3 solid cards, and then you want to work on getting a good card. Go to your bank. Go to your credit union, open a secure card, start building a relationship with your credit union, with your bank. Hey, I've been with y'all for 6 months, so I've been paying on my card. Can we change this card into a good card? That's all I'm telling you. Like, I'm not telling you to close them. Don't be closing no cards, right? I'm telling you, but when they look, they know those are subprime cards. Don't go out and be trying to get no 6, 7 subprime cards, right? Get you about 3 of them and start working. Develop relationship with your credit union, with your bank. Get a card. Take out a little starter loan. So you have a little. Ask them to see you. Hey, even if you got to put collateral up. Hey, I need this. I'm trying to build my credit. Do you have a starter loan for me? I would secure it. If it's $1,000, can I secure a $500 loan? If I can I secure the loan? Yes, you can secure it. Pay that loan off. Pay it for 6, 7 months. Pay it off. Now you got an installment loan with good history on it, right? You got some credit cards are good. Next thing you know, you still been late. Hey, we'll go ahead and approve you for a $5,000 credit card through here. Boom. Now you got this card. Pledge loans. Yep, you can do a pledge loan. Anything. You got self lender. You got XL who reports. You got Patel. You got it. I got a video that I need to that I said I've been putting together creditors that you can get. If you got an iPhone, get Grain. Grain only uses Grain only takes so it says yeah, like a third party is a credit bureau. They fall under the Fair Credit Reporting Act. Yes, they all fall up under the same thing. So you can get them. They can get sued just like anybody else. So, yep, that's absolutely true. So, but you gotta. Oh, I forgot one. David said, "If your subprime is 21 years, have I have to keep it?" Yeah, I would keep. If you got a card that old, it's a subprime, just keep it. It ain't gonna hurt your score. But I just don't want people going out and getting, they so focused on getting these 300, 500, 300, 5. That stuff, man, you got to get guns so you can start building your credit. I keep it for years. This help doesn't close those cards, but build your primary Amex Chase card. Yeah, don't close them. I'm not telling you to close them. I'm just telling you don't go out and be, that's the only card you working on. Because that's the only card you can get. But if you start getting too many of them, now, the other reason is you start getting too many of them, especially too soon. Now you got all these inquiries, right? So just you just want to build. You want to get you a solid 3 cards. If you feel like a secure card, even if you started with a secure card, every time you get paid, go in there and say, "Hey, I want to add another." It's like a savings account. I want to increase my limit on my credit limit on my secure card. Can I add $100? You sure can. Then they're gonna report your credit limit go up. Next time you get paid, $50. Next time you get paid, $100. Next time you get paid 50. Next thing you know, you got 1,000, 1,500 credit limit on your secure card. It's a savings account. When you close it, you're gonna get it all back anyway. But you use that to build your credit. Now with that bank, you you've been you didn't increase your secure card. You've been paying it on time every month, and now they say, well, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna convert that card to a regular credit card, and they're gonna send you back the $1,500 that on that card. Now you got $1,500 you didn't save that you could do with something else with. It's all about strategies. It's all about using, being smart about. Don't just think about, man, that's 100. I don't want to be putting that money on the credit. Yes, you gotta look forward. You gotta look in the future. But there's so many different strategies, man. There's so many different ways. Yeah, man, shit, man. I got all kind of little fuel cards and I got all kind of fuel cards, American Express card. Look, this is my all my cards, and I don't even keep a lot of them. You know what I mean? My American Express, that my Navy Federal, uh, fuel card, business card, no, that's Valero, and then I got my little driver's license. You know what I mean? But I have a stack. I have a stack of cards about like this that I keep in the safe that I don't use. Right? Most of the most if I use credits it's on my Navy Federal card, and then on my American Express card, my platinum. The only ones I'm gonna be using. You know what I mean? So you just gotta, man, uh, you just gotta grow your business. Hell, open up a credit repair business. Shoot, get the facts, learn it, open up a credit repair business, right? But learn it right. Don't be doing like some of these jokers that be passing out some bad information or talking about credit when you ain't no business talking about it. So, man, we're going on 2 hours. I'm gonna have to get off of here, man. But I appreciate y'all, man. And like again, I'm trying to do these lives every week. Uh, I got some videos that I need to be putting out. And if y'all have any suggestions on videos, shoot me a message. Say, hey, can you do a video on this? Can you do a video on this? Can you do a video on this? I'll do a video. I need to start doing some investment videos though, and some other little videos. But if you got any suggestions, let me know. I'm here for y'all. Keeping it real. Our mission, what did it say? Our mission is to educate, to build, to grow, and invest to 1 million. That's what we all about here. That's the track I'm on. That is definitely the track I'm on. But anyway, I appreciate y'all. Thumbs up, man. Hit the thumbs up. And y'all have a blessed weekend. Cartier, I got your email. I'll email you back. We can set something up on Monday. I'm an early bird, man. So and I'm in Central Time. I don't know what time zone you in, but I'm here in Texas. So, but I'm an early bird, man. You know, I'm ex-military, so I'm up pretty early. So whenever you wanna, I'll shoot you back. You tell me what's a good time for you, and then we'll make it happen. But anyway, I appreciate y'all. And hey, y'all have a happy Easter, and I'll see y'all real soon on some videos. Y'all take care. I'm out.